Gotta get comfortable.
Yo, fake radio. We're here with my brother in Christ.
My brother in Christ!
Yo. They don't know what you introduce. They don't know what you look like. Introduce yourself.
My name is Mary Egan, and I've been on this podcast 5 times.
Yeah, you were first on this podcast. Like,
is it actually 5 times?
Let me think. Wait. I think this is your 5th. Yeah.
Wow, it's like the 5-timers club on SNL.
Yeah.
Very good.
But you were on for the first time like a year ago.
Oh.
And so now it's
a year.
Now, because people are like, what's this girl's deal? So now I'm gonna fix. So who is Mary Egan?
I'm the squatter that lives in Easy's house.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah. That's why. Mm-hmm.
I just live on the couch and I smoke weed all day.
All right, so let's start from the beginning. She's from Melrose, Massachusetts.
Melrose.
This not some LA person who I just met in the fucking. She's from Melrose. She's a masshole just like me, just like you. Or I don't know. You might not be.
Melrose.
Just like from
Masshole.
Yeah, masshole.
Is Melrose masshole terror? I feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, if you're from Massachusetts, you're a masshole, in my opinion. Cause I be rolling with like people from like Brockton or whatever. I can't be like they Boston like did it like
just massholes across the board.
When you introduce yourself to I've seen you do you say like I'm from Boston.
Melrose is like part of the ecosystem of Boston. Uh-huh. It's not like I'm from like Newburyport or like fucking Worcester or like Weymouth or whatever. Like I'm from like Melrose is like close to Boston. Yeah. Like everyone who lives in Melrose works in Boston, you know.
That's true.
Like that's true.
That is true.
It's part of the sphere.
Uh-huh.
It's on the T.
So you grew up in Melrose.
Of course.
And also
I was born at Mass General Hospital though. Which is an important distinction to make because my siblings were born at Melrose Wakefield Hospital, which is not as good of a hospital.
Was that?
As Mass General.
So was I born in? No, I wasn't born in Mass General, but I was born.
Mass General is the best hospital in the country.
Yeah. It is.
It is.
I'm not gonna get into that. So you're a screen. Do you say you're a screenwriter or do you say you're a filmmaker? Because when people ask me what you do, I say filmmaker, but...
I would say I'm a screenwriter. Like, your homie who was over here a few weeks ago was like, oh, you make movies? And I was like, no, I don't make movies. I write movie scripts. Because, like...
Yeah.
People really do that for a job. People really lift shit and, like, set things up and, like, go like this and go like that and, like...
Yeah.
Are out of the house for like 13 hours a day, and like I don't do that.
But I want you to.
I could. But I don't do that.
Yeah.
I like write in the nighttime and then I send emails to people.
Screenwriter. So, growing up in Melrose, Massachusetts, what are mom and dad playing in the house? What you watching? My parents just didn't, like, care. So they would just be like, I'm watching this, so you're watching it with me. So, like, we would just watch, like, we lived next to a Blockbuster. Yeah.
Until it closed when I was, like, 7. So we would just go to Blockbuster all the time.
Yeah.
And, we just, Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
Or fucking, like all the Jackie Chan movies. Like I had like a stomach infection or something when I was like in kindergarten. Yeah. I was like sick, but I was like sick for like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And like we just watched all the Jackie Chan movies.
That's
or like Planet of the Apes. Like just cause like I think you should do this. I think like you can see it eventually. Like whatever. Like watch it. Like like
I'm in agreement. Yeah. No.
Whatever. Only one time did I have, like, bad dreams, and it was from watching Van Helsing in 2004. I had, like, vampire dreams.
Yeah.
That was the only time where I was like,
ugh. Nah.
But so we would just watch whatever.
Yeah.
And then we didn't have cable.
Right.
So we would watch, like, PBS Kids, but also we would watch, like, just, like, King of Queens and, like, Seinfeld and, like, The Simpsons. And, like,
Watch Word Girl?
I didn't like Word Girl.
What about Martha Speaks?
I didn't like, that was a little past my time.
Oh, what? No, I watched that.
That was a little, like, later from, like, I would watch, like, Arthur. The Arthur to BoJack Horseman pipeline.
I watched Arthur and I don't fuck with BoJack Horseman, so.
I watched, like, Arthur, Miami, Fetch with Rough Ruffin.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm a Showbiz grown up, is because of Fetch with Rough Ruffin.
Nah, that's the real one. Yeah. Shout out. They shot that down the street from my house.
They did.
They did.
My mom worked there.
Yeah, your mom did work there.
It's a nice place.
It's like a journalist, right?
Yeah, she ran their magazine.
Uh-huh.
Their monthly magazine.
And she went to Emerson.
I went to Emerson.
You went to Emerson.
Which is a better college than my mom went to, which she went to Syracuse.
Oh, she went to Syracuse?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense because yeah. You went to Emerson.
Edit that out. That makes me sound like a cunt.
No.
But I did.
You did. And so you went there. What made you choose Emerson outside of like NYU and?
Okay, so NYU has 3 campuses. They have one in New York.
Yeah.
They have one in Abu Dhabi, and they have one somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna apply to NYU Abu Dhabi to up my chances of getting in.
Yeah.
And my history theater teacher was like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard. He was like, first of all, you'd want to kill yourself if you went to Abu Dhabi. And then I learned, after I applied, that the acceptance rate to get into an NYU international school is way lower than getting into NYU normal.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't go to NYU, was
Okay.
because I was not accepted.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, my mom worked at Emerson.
Your mom worked at Emerson.
As a journalism teacher.
teacher.
I, like, just had been, like, that's, like, where we would, like, hang out when we were, like, out in Boston, like, just that area. So, like, I knew it, like... My, like, doctors were over there, so I was, like, just always over there. I, like, knew what it was. My mom had, like, I had, like, a private tour my mom's, like, student gave me, so, like, I knew it, and, like, just, I knew other people who went there. Like, I knew people from, like, theater who had gone there.
And you were a theater kid.
I was a theater kid.
You weren't a theater.
I did
a kid
theater.
that did theater.
I was a kid that did theater.
Don't get it.
Some people may
don't get it twisted.
differ with that opinion.
Yeah.
But I was a kid who did theater.
Yeah.
I wasn't a theater kid. Thank you very much.
She did METG Drama Fest. Just.
Nothing prepares you more for a career in showbiz than METG.
That's so true.
Whatever it is.
METG.
Drama Fest.
Yeah. That's so true. That shit, I did that shit one time and I was like, where the fuck am I?
Because that's what we were saying though about like if you're on set, like you're on set for like 13 hours. If you do fucking this comp play in high school, like we were there all fucking day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. You're like cold, you're waiting, you're hungry. You might eat sometime, like food might be coming. Like it's the same thing. You're lifting, you're painting.
Yeah. So you went to Emerson though for marketing, not for screenwriting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was writing my questions and I was like, because if you do the screenwriting major at Emerson, as I did, you have to like submit something. And I was like, what did Mary? And I was like, oh, Mary didn't have to submit. You didn't have to submit anything because you were a marketing.
Well, so.
Yeah.
So. I had like kind of messed around with like writing and like I did like plays and I did like.
And you wrote plays and.
I wrote, like, every now and again, I'd write, like, a little sketch or, like, a little, like, couple-page something.
Yeah.
And then in, like, my junior year of high school, I wrote, like, a play that was, like, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But what I like, didn't really, like, do it consistently. Like, I didn't know how to, like, do it consistently. Also, like, with, like...
screenwriting, I guess, like you can do, like, plays in high school, and you can do, like, sports in high school. But, like, kind of same with marketing. Like, you can, like, sort of do, like, the marketing for your clubs, but, like, there's nothing, like, for, like, screen. I guess you could do, like, a film class or, like, a TV class or whatever, but, like, there was no way in, like, my school to, like, write a play and, like, put it on. Like, I mean, I probably could have if I really wanted to, but, like, I didn't. And then I went to Emerson, and I knew I was not going to major in anything like that.
Right.
But I knew, like, going there, like I was going there because I could do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
and I think I, like, knew that.
No.
Kind of before I knew that, you know what I mean?
That's smart. No, because, like, you told me that when we first met, and I was like, that's smart that she, like, did marketing. But did, like, that's, like, I wouldn't have thought to do that as an 19-year-old, but, like, that's...
Because marketing,
really
though, it's, like, the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I would, like, get, like, frustrated in, like, classes or whatever, because I would be like, you are treating these things like they're all so different. Like, a play, or, like, a short film, or, like, a marketing campaign, or, like, a PR campaign. But it's, like, all the same thing.
Exactly.
Like, you're just doing the same thing in, like, different ways. And, like, you see, like, the way they shoot, like, social media ads or whatever. It's, like, that's literally showbiz. Like, nothing is more showbiz than, like, the girlie with, like, the ring light, like, setting it up, and, like, the other one, like, you know, like, that's so showbiz. Like, it's all the same stuff. And so, and then, like, my minored in comedy. Yeah. Which was, like...
Minored in comedy.
So I took, like, some acting classes, and like, that's how I took all the screenwriting classes.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, I could just do that.
And what movie, like, made you want to be, like, a screen... Like, what movie was... You were like, I wish I wrote that. I want to write this. Like, what movie person? Like, what was the thing?
I feel like it's, like, a bunch of different ones, like, over the years. Like, when I was, like, literally in, like, kindergarten, like, I was like, guys, I'm going to write a little movie for us to be in. Like, my little, like, group of, like, 3 friends. I was like, and, like, I, like, wrote in, like, the little notebook.
That's cute.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's not about, like, I guess it is, like, sometimes, but, like, like, I don't feel like, I just, like, want to, like, do it because I want to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I guess, like, been different stuff, like, over the years. Like, I guess, like, 30 Rock and, like, Shameless. Were, like, things where I was like, oh, like, this is so cool. Like, or, like, Fleabag. I don't know, like, movies, though.
You're a
like,
Black Swan fan?
Black Swan's my favorite movie.
Yeah. That's a green flag favorite. That's a green flag favorite movie.
I watched Black Swan, Birdman, and Whiplash, like, all in the same weekend in, like, 2014.
That's a good triple feature.
And it was just, like, crazy.
So, you're at Emerson. You're doing a few, like, you're writing a few projects, right? You worked on, like, The Dish, right?
Yeah. So when I, like, started, because I didn't live there.
Yeah, you live from home.
So I had just, like, a bunch of free time in the day. And I was like, if I want to, like, do this, like, I should just start doing it, like, every day. So I wrote, like, one script that, like, the script that, like, Jack helped me with some stuff with.
Yeah.
I wrote that. I wrote, like,
what was that about?
It's like 30 Rock meets, like, Shameless.
Oh,
okay. It's
like,
it's like this, like, actor who's, like, kind of, like, dirtbaggy. And it's, like, silly like that.
Yeah.
It was, like, cute. It was, like, funny. But, like, I spent a year writing, like, a pilot and, like, a couple episodes. Yeah. And then I spent another year rewriting those. Yeah. But I just wrote it because I was like, let me, like, get all these, like, shitty scripts out of me, like, and just, like, build, like, habits, you know? Yeah. But then at Emerson, I was, like, I did, like, plays, and I did, like, movies. I was in, like, a feature film. I was in, like, and then I did, like, EIV stuff.
You were acting, EIV.
Yeah,
EIV.
Shout out EIV.
Those who don't know, it's Emerson Independent Video.
Yes.
That's what that stands for.
They give you money, and you can make show. But I was like doing like all different kind of stuff. I was mostly like acting and different stuff, and then like a little later on into college, like I was like doing like producing. Like not really doing anything. Or like writing. Like I was like a writer on like a few different projects.
But wait, you wrote for the dish, or you?
I wrote.
You wrote for the dish.
So I wrote for the dish. I was the host.
The dish.
Of the dish.
Is a satirical.
It's like E-News.
Yeah, it's like
It's like E-News, but like funny and like. So
and you can find it on Emerson Independent Video.
And you can watch me host it.
Oh wait, you can?
I'm sure you can.
I never
somewhere.
Into that.
So I was the host of that, and then I was a writer on it, and then my last year, I got them to give me money to do an animated show.
Right.
Which I worked with my friend from high school, who goes to SCAD, to like develop a whole.
Who's that?
Carson Lynch.
Carson Lynch. Shout out Carson.
She's a great artist. She did all of the designs for this animated cartoon.
Was that the 2020 thing you did?
Yeah, it's called Wonderland.
I didn't know that was animated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then
explain the plot, because that's a cool.
So it's like and during all of this time also I worked at a children's. I was a nanny and I was a preschool teacher, and I mostly worked at this children's theater, and I was a teacher, but I would also do these like shows. I would do these like shows like every week, and I would do these like little improv shows for the kids. As like a children's like performer. I was also a birthday clown for a brief stint in 2019.
Do the like beep beep?
I wasn't that kind of birthday clown. I wasn't tacky like that. Excuse me, I am a trained balloon animalist.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. For 2 corporate Christmas parties in 2019.
Corporate Christmas parties?
Yeah.
Was anybody like weird as fuck to you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I looked weird. No one tries to fuck the clown at the office Christmas party.
That'd be like really funny.
There are far more fuckable people at your office's Christmas party than the clown. That's weird as fuck. I'll give you the picture of me in the costume and you can post it.
Please. Yeah.
As the JPEG for this episode.
My algorithm's not gonna do well with that.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I would do these like improv shows for the kids, and like, but I was also like, there were adults there, obviously. So like, part of it was like making the show fun for like the kids and the adults, and like they were usually kind of like riffs on like fairy tales or whatever.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, I really liked Alice in Wonderland. Like that's my favorite like kids movie. I have that T-shirt.
Yeah. And
so I was like, it'd be funny if it was like a cartoon and it was like satirical and it was like Alice in Wonderland and like all the fairy tale like creatures, but it's like about like America and like 2020, and so it's like Alice and the White Rabbit are like these like kind of dirt bags, and like they live in this kind of fairy tale world, and like the queen is like Donald Trump, and and it's just dirty and funny and mean, sassy.
Exactly.
And then I produced a play also.
Right.
But it was 2020, so it was like a radio play.
Radio play, right. Yeah. That's the one, and that's also with like kids, right? Like a teacher.
Yeah, so that's also based on my time as a teacher. Yeah. It's not really based on it, but it's like inspired by it.
And then you wrote False Prophets, that's your first feature, right?
Yeah, and so then I took a class and I wrote my first, and so I had written like another pilot. So by this point I wrote like 3 pilots, but they weren't nothing that mattered, you know.
Yeah.
And then I wrote that movie,
False Prophet. And so explain the.
False Prophet is a movie about a guy. And he's kind of down and out. He's like, he just kind of had a mental breakdown and like quit his job and like went through a breakup. And he was like kind of like on the verge. And he gets hired to work for this like fundamentalist Christian cult.
Mm-hmm.
That's like supposed to be kind of like Jim Jonesy a little bit, and it's about how he kind of gets. It's like a thriller about how he kind of gets like seduced into this cult, and how he kind of befriends the daughter of like the kind of preacher, the preacher's daughter, and their relationship and how they kind of escape this cult together.
And then you wrote.
And then I moved to Los Angeles. And then I met Easy Jackson.
And then you had the best day of your life. A fucking random long-haired Jewish guy named Easy Jackson.
That was a good day.
That was a great day. And then I was like, what are you doing? She was like, I'm a screenwriter and I'm writing a movie called Hot Girl Summer.
Hot Girl Summer.
And I was like, oh, you're a Megan Thee Stallion fan. And then you were like, it's called Hot Girl Summer.
It's because I stole the name of it.
Yeah. And then, did you get the name inspo from Megan Thee Stallion? Though?
I just heard the term Hot Girl Summer and I was like, I understand that feeling. And I named the movie after it.
Shout
out Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah. So explain because that Hot Girl Summer, that won a contest. You sold it.
I sold this, I am now a professional screenwriter.
Let's break it down for people who don't know movies like that, you know? So, like, most people who, like, are, like, professional screenwriters, they're probably, like, in their 30s and 40s. And, like, when you, like, sell your first screenplay, that's normally when you're, like, 28, 29 type shit.
Later 20s.
Yeah, she sold her screenplay at 24.
Woo!
And she won her screenwriting contest at 20. That's
the first contest I entered,
I have a few friends who have, like, won some contests, but, like, selling a screenplay at your age, that's prodigy level shit. Like, that. This is an icon in the making right here that we are talking to, that I live with.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to live with. But so explain Hot Girl Summer.
So Hot Girl Summer. So my professor said, now that you've written an original screenplay, you have to write an adaptation just to like have a more robust portfolio. My professor who wrote the Frida Kahlo movie starring Salma Hayek, shout out.
He wrote that?
She wrote that?
She wrote that, my bad.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna write a movie. So I finished the one script and then I went on vacation and I got the book The Supermarket by Logic, the rapper.
Who Gonna Lick My Lemon Drop?
And I started reading this book.
You know it.
On my vacation, and I was like, this book is the worst fucking book I've ever read, and it makes me want to kill myself.
Shout out to Logic.
Shout out to Logic for writing this horrible fucking book.
Yeah.
With an eye-catching cover page in the aisle at Target. So then I started reading Crime and Punishment, just because, like, I had thought about it a few times.
You never had to read it in high school?
I did read it in high school. I, like, read it in high school.
Right.
Like...
I did too.
Yeah, like... She knew no one read it, my teacher. Like, she assigned that book knowing full well no one was going to fucking read it. Like...
Yeah, no. You don't... Yeah.
I had just, like, thought about it a couple times. In, like, the months preceding that, and I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I had, like, kind of this other idea for, like, a story that was kind of like a whodunit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, like, this story is, like, fine, but it, like, needs, like, something. And then I started reading this book,
So
and I was like...
So Hot Girl Summer is an adaptation of Crime and Punishment.
Yeah.
And so... you gonna tell... It's...
What it's about?
Yeah.
So it's about a trashy hot girl who lives in St. Petersburg, Florida! That's the best part about it. I feel like I don't think I'm allowed to say what it's about.
Oh, wait, we're not allowed to talk about your...
We can just say, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I've read it. It's really good. I was also, like... I wasn't really... I was, like, on my way out of the film world when I met Mary, and I read her screenplay for Hot Girl Summer, and I was just like, fuck, it's
Thanks.
that 10 times better than I'll ever be. I was like, that's really good. And then we talk about Crybabies. Right?
We can talk. Wait, it's about this like girl who makes like a seeking arrangements.
Yeah.
And like kills her sugar daddy, and like her ensuing mental breakdown and like all the drama with like her family and stuff. That's what it's about.
It's really good.
Thank you.
It's really fun. And then you did Crybabies.
I did Crybabies.
That's my personal favorite of all the ones. That shit got me like tearing up. I was like, this is a beautiful story. Please tell.
All right, so in 2020, I was briefly a college dropout.
Yeah.
And I was nannying full time for this family in my like town.
Yeah.
And while I was nannying, the mother's father was like dying. So she would like go up to like see him and leave me with the dad.
Yeah.
And the dad was like this short, weird dude. Like he was always like flirting with me. Like he was always like, he was just always doing like too much. Like it was weird. Like he would like just tell weird stories and like say weird shit and like just like wouldn't leave me alone. But he was like this short, scrawny, like tech nerd guy. Like I was taller than this man. Like it wasn't like threatening. It was just like like what are you doing?
Yeah.
And like, but then one of the kids was like so fun and like creative and like fun. And so one day, like, also this was like 2020. This was like fall of 2020. So like everyone was a little insane. So one day, like I get to work and like it's just me and the dad and the girl, and they're like, oh, like mom had to go and like she took the baby with her. Like it's just us for the day. And I had like one of the most insane days of my life. Like, the twists and turns that this day took. Like, I left that day. I left early because I was like, I'm not fucking doing this. I just walked out of the house. I was like, that was a psychosexual farce that I just lived. Like, that was insane. So, Crybabies, it's the story of a nanny named Isla who lives in this house. And the father, Ray, and it takes place over the course of a day, and it's like this kind of like cat and mouse thriller between the nanny dad and the nanny while the child is there.
And it's like it's so hard for like writers like doing like momentous like movies like that where it's just like everything is like so heavily choreographed. Like that's so hard to do. That's like for like a drawer to like draw like extremely detailed hands or some shit. Like that's like it's one of the hardest things to do. And she did it like with ease. Like I was like reading it, I was like, damn, she really like did the whole like choreographed the whole like I was just in awe of the whole thing, and all the characters are like 3-dimensional. And it's I hope y'all get to see it one day because it's beautiful.
Crybabies. And it's short.
It's short too.
And movies shouldn't be too long.
It's only an hour and a half. It's only 90 minutes. It's not one of these Marvel fucking 3-hour Martin Scorsese thing. It's
Marty.
It's 90 minutes.
Marty, come on.
It's
3.5 hours of my time.
Yeah. So then you worked on Sunshiners. Right?
No, well. Yeah, then I did like a whole bunch of shit.
Did a whole bunch of shit.
I did a whole bunch of stuff. I was in a play.
You were in a play.
Which won Best Play.
Oh wait, it won Best Play?
It won Best Play. It won Most Renowned or Outstanding Production.
Wow.
I think.
She was in that.
I was in that. I worked for the Frenchman.
Yeah.
We can say that. I worked at Voltage Pictures.
You worked at Voltage Pictures. And then you worked at the Wax Museum. Worked at the Hollywood.
Well, first, before I worked at the Wax Museum, I worked for Goldie Goldstein.
Shout out
Goldie Goldstein.
She babysat a Jewish baby from Beverly Hills named Goldie Goldstein. I'm not making this up, people. That's real.
I love her.
Uh-huh.
I wish her well.
Shout out. And then You wrote Sunshiners, which is a semi.
Well, then I wrote Isaac.
Oh yeah, you wrote Isaac.
I wrote a movie musical with Ryan and Devin.
Based on well, they know Ryan and because he's been on the show.
Devin's been on the
show. Devin's been on the show. Yep.
So I wrote Isaac.
Which is
a movie musical.
Movie musical semi based on his album Isaac, which we talked about in his.
And
episode.
then I wrote Sunshiners.
Then you wrote Sunshiners.
Sunshiners.
Which is about your life.
Which is
Melrose.
Loosely based on my life.
Didn't your friend was like, you should write a movie about
this, my friend was like, you like texted me like randomly one day and was like, not one day, let's be real, she texted me at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
It was like, you should write a movie about this and you should write a movie about that and like, what if it was like this? And I was like, I've done it, like I did it.
hey Mary, screenwriter friend, like crazy movie idea, like dog, I already wrote that. That's already.
And then then when I went on vacation and I sent you like the real life pictures of the real life people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's accurate. Yeah, that's
Leo.
Exactly.
Shout out Leo.
Shout out Leo.
Love that man.
Yeah, and now you're working on another adaptation.
Another adaptation.
And this time, this one's a little spicy.
It's a little spooky.
It's a little spooky.
Sunshiners is like funny.
Yeah, it's a comedy.
It's a comedy. It's like a high school
Yeah.
comedy. And this one is like this one's a little funny too though.
It's pretty funny.
I people will like read my stuff.
Yeah.
Like in like class or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like people will laugh and I'll be like, what's so funny? I'll be like, this is not meant to be funny.
Yeah, but it's funny.
It's funny. No, it is funny.
Yeah. And so then this one is an adaptation. We can't talk about it until it's done, or we can talk about it.
We can talk about it,
It's an adaptation on Macbeth with Vanna White.
Based on the life of Vanna White.
Vanna White.
We are not affiliated with Vanna White in any way, shape, or form.
So when were you watching Wheel of Fortune and saw Vanna White and you were like, I'm going to make a movie about...
Well, because we didn't have cable, so we would just, watch whatever was on.
Mm-hmm.
So I, remember being very young and being cognizant of who Vanna White was. Because, sometimes she would wear pants. And, it was always a very big deal for me as a 4-year-old watching Wheel of Fortune when Vanna White wore pants.
That's so funny.
I would, alert the presses. I would be like, she's wearing pants today. She's wearing pants today.
Yeah.
Because, it just be on.
Right.
TV's just on, you know?
Yeah.
So I, was cognizant of Vanna White, and then, when did I, first have this idea? I was in Macbeth. I read Macbeth in high school, and then I was in Macbeth my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
As Lady Macbeth.
There we go.
So humble brag about my high school theater career.
That's a flex.
And so I was nannying once again. And I saw Pat's, it was 2019, Pat Sajak had a something, he was rushed to the hospital and Vanna White had to become the host for a couple days.
Oh, so she was actually the host.
Yeah, so that happened. I remember seeing that and being that's so funny. I bet she snapped and did something and then I wrote a short called My Name Is Not Havana Black.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine read it and was like, oh, what if you made this into a feature? And I was like, I'm not gonna make this into a fucking feature. Why would I do that? And then I thought oh, what if I based the same thing I did with Hot Girl Summer, where I had a story, and then I was oh, but what if I took the framework of this other story and pieced it together.
Yeah.
And so I thought about doing that in 2019, and then I was just whatever, and then I just kind of sat in the pile of ideas.
Yeah.
And then at the Korean spa with Masha and Devin in the sauna. The sauna, I understand why all these old men just, like, go to the sauna to, like, contemplate. Like,
Yeah.
that's me. Like, that's beautiful. If I would do that. I was
you were
just, like...
contemplating the spa and you were just
Well, because one of my goals
black.
for this year was to write a Shakespeare adaptation.
Yeah.
Because I liked the idea of, like, a modern, like 10 Things I Hate About You, or, like, She's the Man, or, like, Anything But You, which is based...
Soon. Actually, not. By the time this is out, the movie...
It's based on Much Ado About Nothing.
Yeah.
Which I was in. I played Dogberry. Another humble brag about my high school theater career.
There you go. So that's in the process of writing. So I've read all of Mary's scripts. I've read every single screenplay that she's wrote, and you're like Kanye West
Thank
to
you.
me. Where like
that's all I've ever wanted to hear.
Yeah, because like he'll be like rapping about like bleaching assholes and shit, or like just trashy ass shit, and but like it'll still like just everything about it. I'll just be like, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful thing, and like that's how I feel about it. I'm just like she could do like anything, and I'm just be like, damn, like that's so like poetic and like interesting, like how she like phrased it and like how it's like painted on the page, like shit like that.
Let me be narcissistic.
Yeah.
What is your favorite like moment?
What's my favorite moment? I like the ending of Sunshiners, how everything kind of like comes together.
How it's like slow-mo.
Yeah. And I love how you write drug dealers. Like that's just like, it's so funny to me. Like it's so funny.
Like Brian.
Yeah, or like the fucking like the girl with the braces. Cause a lot of the people in like your script, like especially in like False Prophets, it's like I get it, but it's like it's not people who I would like know in real life and shit like that. It's like, but then it's like not that I know a lot of drugs, but like.
But when it's the drug dealers, they feel real.
It's like I'm like or like Crybabies, because like I know babysitters, I know creepy dads, I know like baby like because so it's like when I'm like but then like in Crybabies when she's like cooking in the kitchen, like it's hard to connect because they don't know what I'm, but like that, like those are like the like I really enjoy like when you see these movies on the big screen, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, one of the best screenwriters. So what's like your writing process? Like how do you like when you deal with like writer's block? Like how do you get inspiration? Like what like ideal? I live with you, so I know you be like typing like every night for like. What is it, like 4 or 6 hours? Yeah.
It's like a couple hours.
Oh, okay. But so like how do you get inspiration?
So like I have like a list in my like notes of like kind of like ideas.
Yeah.
Like so like I'll get an idea and I'll like put it to the list. Like I'll get an idea and it actually won't go on the list. Like I'll like kind of mull it over like in the background of my brain like for a little while and then it'll go on the list. And then once a year, when I take my month-long vacation twice a year, I like, because I write 2 movies a year, so I like, over Christmas, I like go to the list and I like decide which one I'm gonna write, and I like, I'll think about like what I want to do like next. So, like this one, I'm writing like a Shakespeare adaptation because like that's like what I wanted to do. And then, like, the one I wrote before, like, I wanted to write, like, a kind of more commercial, like, high school comedy. So, like, I'll kind of decide, like, what type of movie I want to do, and I'll, like, kind of look at all the ideas.
Yeah.
And, like, just, like, kind of meditate on it for, like, that couple weeks. Because, like, I'm in the pool, and I'm just chilling out, and I'm, like, doing whatever. And then I'll start writing it, and so it's basically just like a worksheet, and it's got just like all of like the dramatic elements. So it's like characters and like what's the tone and like what's the setting and like what is like the plot like beats and like what is like the story and like what's the character arc, and like I'll just like take like a couple, maybe like 2 months.
Yeah.
And I'll just like fill out like this worksheet, and I'll just like outline the story, and I'll just like make like a kind of scene by scene outline of it, and then that ends up being like 100 pages. But then you know like all the answers to everything. Like you know like this is the tone. Like this is like the thing I'm going for, and like you know like kind of what scenes should look like, and like you've just like kind of like imagined every piece of it.
Yeah.
And then I'll make a lookbook, so I know what everything looks like.
Sexy
My lookbooks are fucking awesome. They're pitch perfect. They're so fucking good.
I've seen a lot of y'all got unorganized ass like just random fucking foot like.
Mine are great. Yeah. They're so good. But so then you like make the lookbook so you know what things should look like, and you know like what the character should look like. Like that's something like I'll do. Yeah. Is like just like what does this person look like? Like I'll find like an actor or something. Yeah. And then that takes like 2 weeks usually, and then I'll write it, and then that takes like another 2 months about. Yeah. And then I'll edit little pieces of it for like a couple weeks, and then I'll be done. So it takes like 6 months to do. Yeah. And then it's done. And then after it's done, I don't like to like touch it anymore. Yeah. Like. Because like a lot of people will just like sit on one thing for like a long time, and like they'll be like, oh, I want to change this or I want to change that, and it's like
that drives you crazy.
And it's like, just do it, like you know.
Yeah. And would you say this whole process is like therapeutic? To your being? Like
yes, because it's like sometimes if there's like shit going on, I'll be like, you know what, like I don't have to deal with that for the next like 3 fucking hours because I'm doing this right now. So it's like, because it's like the reason I like writing is because you don't need anyone else to do it.
No, that's why I like it, because back when I was doing it, like I would just be like, all right, like I got a day to party, I got a day to like work, like I have like these days like to work, and then like this day I'm just gonna like just spend like 12 hours just in my room just like listening to music, writing shit, like
exactly.
It's like chill, like it's very relaxing.
Like because like and you also don't need like a lot of like supplies. No. Like if you're like a painter, you need like paint and canvases and this and that, and like if you're a dancer, you need like other dancers and music, and if you're an actor, like you need someone to like put you in the play, like what I like that's why I started writing, was because for like a couple weeks in college I just wasn't in a play, and I was like, I'm fucking bored, and like you could just do it, like you don't need anyone else to do it.
And so what's your goal, what's your 5-year plan, like where do you see yourself in the future?
I can't tell you that.
You can't. Valid. And who are like your biggest like screenwriting inspirations? Like when you like see someone doing this shit, and you're like, that's.
Billy Wilder. You learn about like Billy Wilder in school. Yeah. And I like him because he has like movies that are very different. Like Sunset Boulevard, and it's very different from Some Like It Hot. Like they're just very different kind of movies, but they all sort of have like a similar flavor. Yeah, like that's kind of what I like. Is like, and I think that's like what I try to do. It's like they're all different, like they're all like some of them are more funny, and like some of them are more serious, and like but they all, and like some of them like are very small and some of them are bigger, but like they all have like a similar flavor to them. That's what I like. Trying to think who else. I don't know, that's just like what we learned about school. You like
Tina Fey, you like Emerald Fennell, you like...
I like Emerald Fennell, I like Emerald Fennell a lot. I think she's like... I would say like she does the same thing though. Like those two movies are very different, but they have like a similar like cadence to them, you know?
Yeah, and like I read a lot, and they do have a similar cadence. And also like a a kind of resounding theme of like women and their like place in the power dynamic world.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like how you're saying, like, is it therapeutic? Like, it's like therapeutic in the way that, like, you can be really, like, crazy, or you can be really, like, unhinged, or you can be really, like, mean, or like all these things that you like. And I think that's like in the movies a lot of it's like about people who feel very like she's a nanny, like she has to act a certain way in the house, or like she's on the game show, like she has to act a certain way, like and then like breaking that and being like crazy, because like that's how we all feel in life, you know.
No, that's poetic.
Thank you.
It's poetic. And you're starting to Twitch. You're starting to Twitch. Be on Twitch.
I might start a Twitch.
Twitch, Mary Egan.
You can just hear me talk.
Yeah. About everything.
Any and everything. Under the sun.
Yeah. And I gotta be a little sentimental. You know, when I was like getting out of a rough period of my time when I met Mary, and also moving to Los Angeles was a big transition. And you've been one of my biggest supporters, one of my best friends.
Yeah, we're
greatly
homies. Appreciate
this person right here. Also, question that the people been asking: who's your favorite rapper? They gotta know.
Kanye West.
Kanye West.
Yeah. What did we listen? What did I like play randomly? Graduation.
Yeah.
Earlier this week.
Yeah, we love Jews though. We love Jews. Jews.
That made me sound so mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was your 25th birthday recently.
Yes, I'm 25.
She's 20. So we gonna turn to the Ellen show right here. I'll be right back.
Are we getting a gift?
I never got her a present, so I gotta.
Quarter life crisis. No, I didn't have a quarter life crisis.
We back, ladies and gentlemen. Hold up. Now this is my bag, so I'm gonna just pull them out.
Oh my God! Presents!
I'm giving you presents on camera. All right.
It's a t-shirt.
Yeah. Hold up, so the.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yeah, bro.
That's sick as fuck.
She loves Britney.
I love Britney Spears.
And then I got you this too.
What is it? Is it a little hat?
It's a hat.
Oh my God! I can wear these things together.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you, Easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Woo!
There we go.
And on that note,
she got the beret on.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Yup. Shout out Fake Radio, Mary Egan, Easy Jackson.
Have a good night, America. Shout out Jimmy K Feds and the Squeak Squad.
Free Palestine.
Yeah.
Fuck Joe Biden. Say Free Palestine too.
Free Palestine.
Yeah, Free Palestine. Yeah. Yeah. No, we on that shit. And Easy, Mary, we out.
Good night.